Well, hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm Janet Kiefer, and I'm really excited that you've joined us tonight for the Power of the Patch Showcase. I'm hail from the Austin, Texas area. I'm a two-star executive director with LifeWave, and we're really excited that you joined us. And if you're a guest tonight, I can assure you, truly I can, that what you're about to see is very interesting as we're going to share with you how you can look and feel and actually be younger. And who doesn't want that, right? Well, in 2021, I was talking with a friend and she mentioned, like, have you heard about this patch? Have you been patched? And honestly, I didn't know what she was talking about. Well, fortunately, I listened because LifeWave and what you're going to hear tonight about this patch technology was truly eliminated 3 years of crippling pain in my knee that I'd been to doctors. They wanted to do massive surgery on my foot. I was in crippling pain going up and down stairs. And especially back then before COVID, I was doing a lot of flying. So tonight we're here. We're excited that you're going to learn about it because over this last 5 years, this patch technology has had tremendous changes in my health and also reverse aging. So, for those of you just sharing us for the first time, we're going to be introducing LifeWave and the X39 patch. You're also going to hear from two experts tonight, a medical doctor and a wellness practitioner, both of which have been using LifeWave in their practices for many years. So sit back, get something to drink. We're going to share information about the technology. We've got some great videos, and you're going to have a chance to really hear from experts and get your questions answered. So, with that ado, I'm going to come in and share my screen. And always, even though I've been sharing this now for about 5 years, honestly, I still love it. I'm so appreciate that you're here, that you're listening, that you're open to new things, because even if this isn't for you tonight, it could be for someone in your family, someone that's a friend, someone a month from now you'll go, I heard about this thing that might help you. So again, welcome to Power of the Patch, a patented breakthrough in a wearable, love that, light technology. So let's see if I can get my patches, my slides to work. I think you'll agree with me, truly. Health is our greatest wealth. You can have all the money you want, and if you don't feel good, life's not great. But let's roll back the camera here a minute, roll back the decades. Remember when you could work all day and party all night? Your friends would come over and go, "Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Let's go out dancing." And you'd be like, "Sure." And now it's like, "Oh, it's 9 o'clock at night." We're thinking, "Oh, I got to hit the bed." We used to be able to party all night, get up, do it the next day. So you start thinking, well, what's going on? And most of the doctors will say, well, it's just natural aging. You slow down. But really, those symptoms of aging aren't fun. And if you're like me in my 40s and 50s, I was still going a mile a minute, a house on fire. But I did start noticing some changes. Well, what I didn't know, doctors never told me. Maybe they've told you, but I haven't heard of it yet. The older we get, the faster we age and the slower we heal because it's a decline in the body's number one repair system, our stem cells. I'm sure you've heard of stem cells. It's very common. Most people think of them as injections. It's going to, help a knee repair or something. But look at the chart. You're a newborn. From 1 to 12, we're full of stem cells. We're growing like a weed. Your grandmother goes, "Oh, Janet, you've grown another foot." And we did, right? We're like shooting up everywhere. You get through life, you've gone through your education, you've started a family, you've got your career. But what we don't know over time is that those stem cells are no longer replicating the way they used to. Things are slowing down. And over time, by age 30, they've decreased by about 50%. I didn't know that. By age 60, really only a small percentage remain. And if you're like me on the far end, right end of this graph, I call it Kaputski land. You're just not repairing and healing the way you used to do. So you're not sleeping as well. Bone and muscle aren't growing again the way they used to be. You start noticing you're just more tired. You start noticing lines and wrinkles, and you're thinking, well, maybe I can get a facelift, right? Well, we want to show you tonight a natural way, a breakthrough way of how you can reverse this. So, welcome to LifeWave. But before we jump in, two questions. If you could change one thing about your health, or the health of someone you love, what would it be? And for most people, you might go, well, I'm feeling pretty good tonight. Good. We're happy that's the way. But do you know someone who's really struggling? This might be for them. And what impact would reducing or eliminating that issue have on your quality of life? Well, back with my knee, stairs were a nightmare. I was doing this flying, trying to get in and out of plane seats and get my baggage. I would wait at the back of the plane because I couldn't go fast, right? It really was impeding my life. Well, what if my friend basically said to me that night, what if I could show you a safe and affordable way to change that trajectory? To change that trajectory of aging where you can look and you can feel and really live younger longer. Would you be interested? Well, duh, yeah, tell me about it, right? So the good news is X39 is a wearable light technology. We're going to show you a little round patch. It's a historic breakthrough in holistic wellness. And I think for most of us, we appreciate doctors, we appreciate when we need medications, but most people truly would rather do a natural approach to health. It's a new, patented, inexpensive wearable patch. It's affordable, it's safe, it's non-invasive, it's drug-free, love all those things, and it uses specific frequencies of light. So we're going to go into this thing about light here a minute, which probably your doctor didn't tell you about, that increases the whole overall health and wellness of our body. But before we jump in, I do want to say LifeWave products are not designed or intended to heal, treat, cure, or diagnose a disease. But you're going to think about it. If you're like me, I'm like, oh, I wonder if it helps, blah, blah, blah. You know, my uncle's got this. Well, hold on. They really help turn our bodies back to that natural state by activating a copper peptide, which we'll explain, that's starting to repair the body, which is pretty darn exciting. So welcome to X39. I'd like to show you Be the Light with LifeWave. It'll explain the technology in a compelling way here that's a little more fun than me. We'll go in.
An empowered life has no expiration date. We're all created to do incredible things, like conquer summits, catch big waves, and live our passions. As time goes on, our bodies begin to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy levels decline, sleep patterns shift, and recovery slows. But our bodies are masterpieces of design, holding the potential to bounce back better than ever. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and regenerative science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHKCU, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, which requires external light sources, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality, enhancing the body's flow of natural energy. For improvements in strength, stamina, performance, and overall health and well-being, with the simplicity of an affordable, non-invasive, non-transdermal patch. As we age, levels of these life-enhancing elements, which are associated with wellness and longevity, begin to decline. LifeWave invested 10 years into stem cell research, which resulted in over 70 patents. X39 was born to bring to the public a product that can support wellness in an entirely new way, supporting the production of younger, healthier cells with wearable light technology. Becoming a powerhouse is easier than you think. Harness your body's natural potential to maintain youthful energy and vitality, because life comes at you fast, but it doesn't have to pass you by. Live long, live well, live young. Be the light with LifeWave X39. LifeWave.
Well, if you're like me, I was really excited when I saw this technology. I had previously owned a health food store for about 12 years. I've done a lot with supplements, a lot of with helping people be healthier. But to have a technology that's light-based, that uses the power of our body, it's based on the science of photo, light, bio, our body, modulation, changing it, right? And the patches contain a specific combination of organic materials and nanocrystals. And if you are keeping up with a lot of the medical technologies, crystals and lasers are all the cutting edge now. Well, these are nanocrystals working with our body. And when they're applied to or near your body, even within about 3 inches, they're activated by our own body's infrared heat. And you get out of bed in the morning, you know it's warm, right? That's our thermal field. That's our infrared. If we could see infrared, unfortunately, our eyes just can't see it, you would see us glowing, right? Well, the patches are working with these specific wavelengths of light that stimulate a beneficial response in our body. And you don't even feel it. It's working the whole time at this light level. So, who was our creator? This is David Schmidt. He's our CEO, he's our inventor. He has more than 250 patents. He's an international award-winning scientist. He's a man of the heart, he's a man of faith. And what you're seeing there on the wall behind him is just a bit of his patents. He's renowned. Last year, he won the Biotech International Innovation Award for stem cell innovation with our products. He's very renowned, and even if you've not heard of this yet, you will, because come this summer, there's going to be a documentary on him on Amazon Prime called Code of Creation. So you're going to be hearing a lot about David and LifeWave pretty soon. So as we go in, let me show you a little bit about LifeWave.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There is more information there than most people would ever realize. I was 8 years old, and my parents wanted to take me to the workshop of Thomas Edison. On the drive back home, I said to my dad, I want to be an inventor. Light, as it turns out, is the primary control mechanism for everything else that happens in the body. What if we could have an external electromagnetic field that would essentially reset the stem cells that are already in our bodies and get them to function like younger, healthier cells? What if in the process we actually found out that in a book that was written thousands of years ago, that information already existed? God has left his fingerprint in natural design, and that blueprint shows up in nature. The mathematical codes are identical. The implications to this are absolutely extraordinary. What drives me is that there's this enormous sense of hope that we can create technology to generate clean energy, that we can have foods that aren't genetically modified, and we can meet all of the needs on the planet that we have to, and that we can heal people.
You're going to see a lot about David Schmidt coming up. And as I watch him, I'm just humbled. David could have gone to a career in big pharma. He's brilliant. And instead, he said, what if we could heal the planet? So let's go in a little deeper about LifeWave. In 2000, David was working with the U.S. Navy SEALs. He was helping them with new light technologies to have battle-ready strength and stamina and performance without the use of drugs and stimulants. In 2004, David brought this technology to market, created LifeWave. So the company's now 21 years old, almost 22. And over the years, created more patches, set up manufacturing, distribution, and global centers both in the US and in Ireland. We're now distributing over to 80 countries. And if you're like me, I was like, I've never even heard of this, right? So tonight, as I go to sleep, people are patching in Australia and South Africa and all across Asia. We have 16 global distribution centers, and we have a new global headquarters in Draper, Utah. The company is in phenomenal growth because as we get to the end of this, many people are like, I want what she's having. And they're like, get me that patch. So here's a little bit more about X39. We really call it the Holy Grail, truly, of health, healing, and regeneration. It's an historic breakthrough. It is doing what multi-billion dollar companies, big pharma, have been trying to do for 3 decades. And if you know the cost of some of the elite drugs that are out there, imagine if they had a drug that activated stem cells. How much do you think that would cost, right? Here we have a patch you can wear without drugs, without side effects. It's safe. And it's proven to activate a very specific copper peptide in our blood that supports and enhances this stem cell activity, resulting over time, got to give it a little time, a younger and more vibrant you at the DNA level. David has more than 200 patents and clinical studies. If you're like me, I actually did go read the clinical studies. You start to understand the depth and breadth of this technology. But let's break it down to you and me. First of all, what about more energy? Most of us would love to have more energy, right? Well, using X39 daily, wearing it on our skin, starts to increase cellular energy way down at the mitochondria level. And from the first day of use, honestly, I've had a number of people go, I just feel better. I've just got more energy, right? What comes with that on the backside is often you start having better sleep. And using it daily improves the quantity of sleep and also the quality of sleep. As we age, the circadian rhythm in our brain gets disrupted. X39 is helping to put that back in balance, which is pretty exciting, right? Well, but what about you keeping healthy, keeping strong, stamina, performance? If you work out, these are going to help your recovery after exercise. You're not as sore. Muscles and bones start getting stronger. A lot of us over 50, honestly, I measure my bone and muscles. I've gotten much stronger over the years using these patches. Many, many, many pro, Olympic, and amateur athletes around the world are using them. Well, think about it. The anti-drug agencies will not allow them to use any prohibited substance. And here you see athletes with our patches on because they're not a drug. It's a natural product activating their own body to higher performance, right? But many of us stop and really pay attention when you're in pain because no one wants to be in pain and no one likes swallowing 20 ibuprofen a day, right? So often people start finding a reduction in pain within minutes, and the benefits start to go across the body, reducing inflammation and pain, which is a wonderful story I wish I had time to get into. But also, it's systemic. I can put X39 on my big toe, it's going to help my brain. We have a clinical study of a 77-year-old woman. These are the EEG scans of her brain. She was in cognitive decline. You see on the left a lot of inflammation. That's what the red is. They applied X39 for 3 weeks, took another scan, boom, 3 weeks again, another scan. Look at that decrease coming down in the inflammation. And she started reporting better memory within a week when they were testing her. So think about athletes with concussions. Think about brain injuries. You've had motorcycle accidents. Truly, you want to get these patches on. Wound healing. It really supports natural wound healing. I was talking to a woman today who had her knee replaced, been using the patches straight on her knee, and her doctor's like, "You're healing double the pace I've seen anybody. In fact, I can hardly see your scar." Many of us, though, get very excited about the wrinkle reduction. X39 starts flooding the body with collagen. It starts regrowing muscle in the face. Fine lines and wrinkles start going away. Please take pictures of your face, even if you think I'm crazy, and take it again in about 3 months. And then let's put them side by side because you really start seeing, wow, my eyes are lifting, my cheeks are lifting. I had quite a bit of wrinkling on my chest. I'm a sun girl. And over about 6 months, it completely disappeared. So look at these results. The woman up here, it almost looks like her younger sister came in from out of town. She was really struggling with allergies. Oh, you can see it around her eyes. If you've ever had allergies and pollen like that, you're just miserable. Well, here you see the recovery after about 4 months. The woman in the top in the middle, Mandy, God love her, she just kept taking pictures. And here you see over 2 years the change in her body. The gentleman up at the top right, he was on the snowboard. He had a bad day on the slopes. He ran into rocks with his face. Look at him after 5 days, how quickly he's healing. Below him, gentleman fell through the rafters. He was doing construction. He broke 6 ribs. Ah! Well, look right there by June 17th, by the 7th. There's the patch. Have you ever broken ribs? It usually take 6 to 8, sometimes 10 weeks to really heal those. He was back to work in 3 weeks, you guys. The doctor said, I don't believe it. You're healing so quickly. Here we have Karen in the middle we recommend you follow your doctor's protocol for dealing with cancer treatment. She had radiation for cancer in the sinuses. Here you see her after 3 weeks. You can't even tell from that. A friend of mine here at the bottom left, taking the pictures over time, she had tremendous issues, tremendous pain issues. She was on 16 medications, 8 of which were for pain. She had a very big C curve in her back from scoliosis that was causing all this problem. She just recently had a new MRI. Her back is straightening out, and she's in her late 70s. She's been on the patches now about 3 years. Her back is straightening out. She's no longer on the pain medications. And we don't make claims. We don't know what's going to happen to you. But honestly, why wouldn't you try? They wanted to fuse her entire spine, which she said, had they done it, she probably would be in a wheelchair. Okay. Here's a closer shots of Karen. June 6th, you see the radiation, a lot of healing starting to happen by June 10th, June 17th, June 23rd. Man, it really starting to look good. Look at her in 3 weeks. This is how fast tissues are starting to repair with this stimulation at a cellular level. Okay, who's got thinning hair? Not fun, right? Often people are saying they experience a lot of hair growth, thicker hair, speed of hair growth. My stylist said it about month 4. She goes, Janet, you're getting a whole bunch of baby hair in. I was like, really? I mean, I can't see the top of my head. And mine really grows fast now. So let's hear what a number of people have said about the patches.
X39 has really changed my life. I'm not stuck at home in pain in bed. I'm out here with my friends and enjoying my family.
Big thank you to Lifeway for helping me, helping my family, and helping the 100 people now in our team who are using Lifeway daily and their families. Big thank you. Love the products.
And I have energy through the roof.
I sleep better. I have so much more energy.
Throughout the day, I can focus better. I can concentrate in my work.
Our church worship service lasts 45 minutes. For the last 2 years, I've not been able to stand that long. 2.5 weeks into wearing the X39 patch, the pastor said, you can now be seated. It dawned on me at that moment that, my goodness, I've been standing this whole time, didn't realize it.
After starting using the technology for approximately 2 weeks, my pain completely disappeared.
32 years of pain gone in 3 days.
I just love the products. They just help me to feel younger and younger year after year.
Thank God for X39.
My skin become younger, softer, firmer.
It's been really amazing.
I love X39 because it really helped reduce the inflammation in my knee. I can now run again. Woohoo!
So if you're like me, it's like, well, why does my doctor know about this? Do doctors use these? Well, I want to introduce now 2 people who are going to talk about how doctors use these in the practice. And I'm going to stop my slides here and introduce Michelle Niels. Michelle's a director with LifeWave. She's been using these patches now. Oh my gosh, you're going on 7 years, girl. And Michelle has a nursing background and then went into holistic health coaching. She's a licensed massage therapist and energy healer. And she's here tonight to introduce our wonderful guest. So Michelle, take it over.
Thank you, Janet. I've seen this presentation, I don't know, a couple hundred times, and I still get so excited. I have this big grin on my face. Thank you for the beginning of this. It was wonderful. So I would like to introduce Dr. Annabrll Garcia Neur. Dr. Annabrll has been in practice as a pediatrician since 2004. She is from the Hudson Valley, New York. She's been with LifeWave since May of 2023, and she was introduced by Michael Jaco. Some of you know that name. So come on, Dr. Annabrll, let's see your beautiful shining face. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So we had a delightful chat today. She was working at the clinic, and we talked on her lunch break. And I would like to know, what was it, Dr. Annabrll, that attracted you to this technology?
Well, one, like you said, I was introduced by someone I trusted. So I had been listening to him for such a long time, and I was really curious to try it. So I am very science minded, hence becoming a doctor. And it was really intriguing because here was something natural. And I was already of that mindset to look for natural ways to kind of help ourselves and help my family. And that's where LifeWave came in. And it was just like the perfect timing.
A perfect timing, something natural, right? And you shared with me that you are lucky enough to be working in a functional medicine clinic, which is great, more holistic, right?
Absolutely.
So, would you explain, especially for new people, how does this technology work, Dr. Annabelle?
Well, it is a really, really innovative technology, and it's so unassuming because it's a patch. And so how it works is the center of the patch is a crystal structure. And when you place that patch on your body or within 3 inches of your body, our body heat, also known as our infrared light, activates that center of the patch. And it takes in our light or our body heat and then reflects it back to us in a specific wavelength. And when we talk specifically about our lovely, amazing, but most beloved X39, it increases a protein that we already have naturally in our body called GHK copper peptide, just like Janet was talking about. And that is where the magic happens because that GHK is incredible. And that's why we rave about it because that's where all the benefits come from because of that protein.
The coolest thing your body makes that you've never heard of, right? Or most people have never heard of, right? That's great. Um, how would you respond to the question, Dr. Annabelle? Does the patch work for blank? As Gregory says, lumpuckaroo, this disease, this condition. We often get asked, will it help with fill in the blank, right? How would you respond to that?
Well, part of that questioning is what we've been trained, right? Because that is how we speak, especially in my world, this for that. But here we have something, and of course, the company never claimed to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease states. Hence, we don't speak in disease states.
Mhm.
But what it does is just it innovatively activates our amazing regenerative properties that we possess. But over time, through various mechanisms, those abilities are decreased or impacted. And
Mhm.
so, yes, it is going to take care of everything and anything our body needs to bring it to balance. When that happens, it's anybody's guess because the patches and the cells will prioritize what is needed first. And so
Mhm.
that is when we will see the benefits. We may not feel those benefits right outright, but they're happening from day one.
Ah, beautiful. And the wisdom of our body, right, Dr. Annabelle? I mean, someone may say, I have knee pain, I want it to work on that. But maybe they have a heart or liver condition that's more critical, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, share with us, how can people get the most out of the patch? Like, what are some other things people can do besides consistently wearing it, right? I know you're going to talk about that. But in addition to that, what are some other things people can do?
Well, especially when I share, I like to say these are the keys to your success in your patch journey. Consistency is daily use. When you do something daily, it does become a habit. And this is a habit you want in your life because you are going to be better because of this habit. So, daily use, you use the patches 12 hours on and then 12 hours off. So, you want to maintain that hour consistency because one, that was what was studied. And two is you never want the body to stop listening to the signal that the patches are giving off. So you want to use the 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and you want to hydrate because when a body is well hydrated, the cells communicate better. And when they communicate better is why we get the benefits that we get. And sometimes with a lot more speed, perhaps, or just in a better, more effective way. Because when people communicate well, like in a marriage, you communicate well, the marriage is fantastic. So it's the same thing in our body. All our cells are married to each other and they just want to talk. So most certainly that's key. And a
That's
healthy
great.
lifestyle is also important. So do what you can for yourself because the patches will help you along the way, but it really does help to do what you can for you.
Oh, that's so well said, Dr. Annabelle. So, for people who are new and they're looking at you're gorgeous, you're just absolutely beautiful, and people are thinking, well, she's not very old. A lot of us baby boomers here, right? And so, I would love to hear how has the patch benefited you at your young age of 48? Just gave it away there.
Yeah.
How has it benefited you?
Well, I have counted myself super lucky to have received this gift so young in my age. And, at 46, I got this beautiful gift because at 45, I was noticing that I didn't look as good as I did, a few years before that. And at 46, I was a mom and I'm still a mom. At that point, she was 3 years old. So here I was, 46 years old, with a very young child, low on energy, low on motivation, low on all my parameters, but still trying to function. So then I became, like, in my words, like, I want to become a poster child, and I did. I became a poster child. So all those beautiful things that Janet mentioned in terms of benefits, I got those. I got the sleep, even though I was sleep deprived in terms of numbers, but I didn't feel that way. I had energy to go to work full time, come back and be with my daughter and attend to her. I had less pain and inflammation because I got down on the floor to play with my child and I could get up again. I didn't feel that well when she was 2, but I could get off the floor without going, oh, you know? And then I'm not an avid exerciser, but when I had this ability to, take time off from work, I was working out so much so that I wasn't afraid to come back and work out some more because I was that dreaded soreness. So the numerous benefits are incredible. And then just like Janet said, my skin. I love my skin. I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, that's so nice. It's so much better than it was when I was in my 30s. And
Isn't
so
that?
I never had a wish list when I started my patches. I do have a few things that I would like attended to, but like Dr. Kathy says, we can't pick the fix. They will happen over time with consistency, and I can't wait for those other things to be checked off my list.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Annabelle. Beautiful. So good to be with you. Well, Janet, well, you can come on back. And this was just delightful. Just love visiting with you.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Dr. Annabelle. And yes, you both are looking incredibly gorgeous and young. It does happen, folks. You can turn back the clock. And Dr. Annabelle really brings up a good point, especially as women start moving towards the end of their 40s and menopause starts coming in. I think that's when we feel a lot of changes with energy. So it's great to hear that, Dr. Annabelle. Well, thank you. And thank you, everybody. We're going to wrap up here tonight. Just a little bit more info, going to kind of change from the patch itself in LifeWave here for a sec. And maybe share something that appeals to you. It certainly did to me. When I first saw the patches, again, I was trying to get out of knee pain. It did an incredible job for me. I started sharing it with friends. I called my friend Barbara, and we were talking to this person and that person. And before we knew it, it just sort of took off. And we're like, I just love this. It's so great to have a solution for somebody. But I didn't really think about it being a business and making money. We were just from our heart sharing it. Well, before long, it was paying for my patches. And pretty soon, Lifeway, with their generous comp plan and David Schmidt being so generous, he was like, let's help the world. So the company's been in 3,000% growth over the last 6 years. You guys, I've helped start companies. 3,000 growth is not natural. If you have 15% growth, Wall Street thinks you're just a darling, right? Well, we're the number one growth company in growth in network marketing. A lot of people are looking at LifeWave going, what are you doing that's so right? And honestly, people just want to feel better and look younger, right? So if you understand this from a little different perspective, everybody's stem cells are declining, you guys. That's science. They're all declining. The longevity market, we're living longer. Longevity as a wellness market is now an $8 trillion market. I was just looking at it a couple days ago. It's going to go up to 34 trillion. That's called an opportunity. People want to feel good as they live younger and look better. So think about this for a minute. if you'd like to help us get the word out on this patented exclusive product, which has no competition, by the way, we have a really simple system. We share it like here tonight. You can bring people. We have videos. A lot of times we're sitting down one-on-one because we have to tell the stories. We got to show you the pictures. Because honestly, if you went to Walgreens and saw these little patches with not much on the envelope, you'd be like, well, what is this, right? We need to understand it. So we have free websites, we have training, we have support. But what I loved is it's a real low cost of entry. Get some patches for yourself. Let's just start sharing the videos. Let's start sharing it with people as they come on. Pretty soon your patches are paid for each month, right? What I saw was a really great plan B back 5 years ago. Back then it was COVID. COVID shut down. I had an international training business. I was being flown overseas to train. Guess what? COVID completely shut down was my whole career. I was looking like, what's an opportunity? Well, we're going through somewhat that again right now. AI is wiping out jobs, you guys, and you're going to find less and less those entry jobs are gone. You have us older people who might have be retired, but we have a lot to still give. We'd like to be involved. We want to be contributing. We want to have meaning and purpose. So if that appeals to you, we really are rewarded for making a difference in people's lives. We could keep you here to midnight just talking about the stories of the amazing things. So, in addition to being a rock solid, debt free 21-year-old company, privately owned, Wall Street is not in the picture. We have a very generous compensation plan that pays out 50% of all the income to the brand partners because it's us sharing it with friends, sharing it with friends, sharing it with friends, right? And so, who doesn't want rapid pain relief? Who doesn't want reduced inflammation? I mean, that's just a no-brainer, right? And when you tell people your wounds can heal in half the time and your energy's coming back, people are like, where do I get this, right? You can have faster recovery. Who doesn't want that? So if you're like me, it's like, okay, how do I get them? How much do they cost? LifeWave sells a 30-day packet, an envelope of X39 for $149.95. One a day, as Dr. Annabrll said, put it on for 12 hours, take it off, put a new one on the next day. But, especially you ladies, friends don't let friends buy retail, right? So our preferred customer, a little better plan, reduces the price by $50 per month. It's a monthly subscription, which doesn't have a long-term commitment. But here's the thing. From all the clinical studies, we know most of us need at least a month on the patches for every decade. So if you're a 30-year-old, 3 months. If you're an 80-year-old, you need more time, right? You need maybe 6, 7, 8 months. So the price comes down, you're saving $50 a month, and we have in our preferred customer program a sample program. There are some other patches where you can try some before you buy. It's a great program, right? And LifeWave goes, look it, here's a 90-day money back guarantee. At that point, I was like, well, why wouldn't I try this, And honestly, I love someone who owned a health food store that I don't swallow anything. I love that you stick them. All right. But if you're like me, you may want to be a brand partner. You're getting paid for sharing. You earn a part-time or full-time income. You have generous rewards. But what I love, we really have a community, a huge community around the world. And I talk to people all over the world now who are patching that are so excited about this. Also, we get paid weekly. Who do you know out there right now struggling with credit card debt who could use an extra 200 a week, an extra 500 a week, right? Well, we've got 4 ways to get started, and our first is a core pack. Our core pack is $295. It comes with 3 of the envelopes of X39 for you to get started. Great savings. But you might say, hey, what about my husband or my wife, or I'd like to get my mother on these. The advanced pack is going to give you 6 of the envelopes, 3 for you, 3 for your spouse or whatever, for $535, which again is another discount. Then we have the Advanced Plus pack. Now you're starting to think, well, maybe I would like to share them. Maybe I would like to start a small part-time business. I know a lot of people. I'd like to have some extra income. The Advanced Plus is going to give you 11 sleeves for $975. And then the premiums truly, okay, you might be a chiropractor, you might be a therapist, like Michelle's a massage therapist, Dr. Annabrll, they're using it in the practice. 20 sleeves for $17.50. Well, I don't know about you. I've helped start 7 businesses. I never started a business for $1,750 that had a money back guarantee. And honestly, if this is the first night you're hearing about LifeWave, it's not going to be your last. This thing is exploding, you guys. So I'm going to finish tonight. We'd love you to come on board with us. If you need to see the clinical studies, great. Get back with the person who shared them with you. We'll show you the clinical studies. You can research all you want, but we've got the deal, you guys. No one's got this. It's proven. It's FDA registered. The pro athletes are wearing it. You guys, Serena Williams can't put anything on her body that would ever put her in jeopardy of not being able to compete. This thing's effective, it works, and over time, when you see the healing, you just get so excited in your heart to share. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Dr. Annabrll. It's always a delight. I'm going to end with our little video here, and if you're excited as we are, come on board with us.
A life empowered is closer than you think. We're all looking for a better way. Reimagine what's next with a new sense of exuberance. Why not power on like you mean it? Or power off blissfully? A better sleep is a better awake. You've never moved like this before. The energy nature intended. Imagine reprogramming the way you look at the speed of science. At longevity. At exhilaration. It's next level rejuvenation. Take control of your well-being from the inside out and outside in. The light within is ready to ignite. Be the light. LifeWave.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Live young, live well. We'll see you soon.